Welcome, guys, to Unwritten Stories of Significance. Part 2. The story continues about Cora and Manni, a book that is written called Setting Boundaries by two authors, Alisa and Kendall. And it's a great book. But now, within this episode, we're going to introduce to you the illustrator. He is phenomenal. He is amazing. And they have a little bit of history together. With no further ado, I'd love to introduce to you Braedon O'Brien. Hi, Braedon.
Hi, Joy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful for the opportunity and very excited to speak for everyone on behalf of the book Cora and Manni.
Oh, you are so welcome, handsome. Now, I enjoyed our pre-interview. I really, really did, because you are not only a great illustrator, like your work is phenomenal. When you look at this book, it is, honey. When you look at the book, and then you look at your past work, it blows my mind, you know? So I know about you, handsome, but I want you to introduce yourself, sweetheart, to our viewers.
Of course. So my name is Braedon O'Brien. I am the illustrator of Cora and Manni Set Boundaries. I am actually a student at Western University in my second year. I'm currently in my house in London, hence the weird electrical box coming out of my bedroom wall. In my pastime, I am also a social media influencer and content creator, which I showcase more of my artwork on. And then I was presented with the opportunity to be an illustrator of this book from Alisa and Kendall. And Alisa actually taught me in high school in grade 12 as an English teacher. And she came to me with this opportunity and I gladly accepted. And here we are today.
Awesome, hon. Very, very well said, handsome. Okay, I'm gonna just reel it back a little bit, because throughout our pre-interview, you've not only known both of them, but you've also known Alisa being your English teacher, as you have said. But you said something off camera, which sometimes as teachers, they hear, but they don't hear. And I want you just to share how she was as a teacher with you and how, as a person teaching. If you can just share that, hon, please.
Of course. So like I said, Alisa taught me in grade 12 for English. And it was kind of like that class was a huge mess pretty much, because Alisa was my teacher for the first day. Came the first day, we all loved her. She was so nice. Like she was saying in the last segment, she creates this kind of like very welcoming environment in the classroom and is very respectful of all of us, rather than like your typical, like, I don't want to like throw anyone under the bus, but like your typical like teacher, like, I don't know, let's say for like math or science, who just kind of like expects everyone in the class to, you know, pay attention all the time. Obviously you do have to do that regardless, but like listen to the teacher, obviously not disobey their rules. And Alisa enforced those rules, but in a way where she showed respect for us, so that when she told us to like listen to her, we would, because we wouldn't want to like disobey her, because we knew like, hey, like she's a nice teacher, like we don't want to get in her bad side kind of thing. Anyways, so the first, like I was saying, our English class had a little bit of a rocky road in grade 12. The first day we had Alisa and she gave us this assignment. I forget what it was, but it was like a little like poem, and on the back we had to make something like creative from the poem. And me being like my creative and artistic self, I was like, I'm just gonna draw a picture. So I just drew a picture of Alisa sitting at her desk, and then everyone in the class thought I was so weird. Like, why are you drawing the teacher right now? Like, okay, but I just like, you know what? Like, I don't know what else to do, so I'm just gonna like draw. Maybe she'll like it. Maybe it'll make her day. And sure enough, I went up to her at the end of class. I was like, okay, like I'm done here. And she's like, is that me? And I was like, yeah. So ever since then, I feel like she kind of, or she like, even like, I knew that she recognized my talent, because she was so like, I don't know, she was so thankful and like open-minded about it. She's like, wow, like he's got like something about him that I really like. And then ever since then, I guess like, I don't know. Yeah. I loved her as a teacher, and then she left and everyone was really sad about it, including myself. So we got a new teacher, and then she came back, I think it was like a month later or something like that. And then we were all so excited to have her again. And yeah, that's kind of how I met Alisa. And then the semester after, I was working on a painting for my art class. So the high school I went to, I had to audition to get into, and I was in the specialized visual arts program.
Mm-hmm.
And in grade 12 is when we do all the huge paintings and murals. And
Right.
I was working on a painting revolving around the concept of teens and mental health and substance abuse.
Right.
So it was this huge painting of a man smoking with kind of this like um, vortex sucking him into the background, kind of showing this like how substance abuse like affects teens and their mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked on this project for about 3 months because it was very big. It was a 5 by 3 foot painting, I think. It's still in my school today.
Massive.
Um,
It's still at the
it's
school?
it is, yes. I still
Wow.
get some of like the or like my friends in younger grades, they still like send me a picture or like a selfie with them in the painting in school, which is kind of
Awesome.
funny. But yeah, it's still there today. And every day I was working on it, Elisa would walk by and just like stare at it and just like compliment me. And it just always made my day. So I was like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, like my hard work's paying off. Like everyone
Yes.
likes my painting, especially my English teacher, which gave me bonus points in English. So
Wow.
that was good too. But yeah.
That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. So now, moving forward here, Hannah, that is a great testimony to Elisa on
Mhm.
her teaching and her passion for her youth, her students. So she's walking by, she sees this picture, she leaves, and then she recruits you, Elisa and herself recruits you for the book, Cora and Manni. So Elisa and
Yes.
Ken recruits you. So by keeping that in mind all the time, she's keeping you. I know of an artist. How did you feel when she recruited you? How did you feel?
Honestly, I wasn't expecting the the opportunity to do it, but I kind of was at the same time because when I left at high school graduation, I'll never forget this. We had a COVID graduation, so we had a drive-through, and I saw all my teachers, and at the very end of the line was Elisa, and she stopped my car for like maybe like 30 seconds and just like said this like entire like thing about like how much she like um loved having me as a student, how like I was going to be so successful in the future because of like how genuine of a person I am and how like stuff like that. And it actually just like I guess like not broke my heart because I was leaving here, but also like it just made me feel so warm inside because like I just know that I like left my mark on my school kind of thing.
Right.
And then I knew that ever since then, I was gonna keep in touch with, I don't know, something about it. I was like, I'm gonna like, she's gonna be back. Like, I know she's gonna be back in the future. So when I got the email, I was like, oh my gosh, like, no way. Like, I still get to keep in touch with her. This is awesome. And I got to work with them on this huge, like, amazing project while still doing what I love, drawing.
Yes.
Um, so when I got the email from them, I was like, oh my gosh, like, no doubt in my mind, I'm doing this book. Would love to do it. Such a great opportunity. And also the fact that, it shows like equality and diversity,
Yes.
which I also show a lot on my platform through my drawings as well. So as soon as I read the book, saw their intentions with the book, I was like, yep, like this is for me. Like we're gonna do this.
Awesome, hon.
Yeah. Mhm.
Before it leaves my mind, okay, so she actually recruits you for the book.
Mhm.
Tell Kendall, shares it with Kendall. If we can just bring up, there's the picture of the little drawing that they did
Mhm.
originally, right? The sketch. And then all of a sudden the finished one of Cora and Manni. Now, how long did that take you to put that together? Because I'm telling you, not only your work, but that was phenomenal. How long, my love? When you seen
Um,
their original, of us, and you had to duplicate that in your own art form.
yeah. So Elisa Kendall sent me the picture that Kendall drew. And
Yes,
as soon as they sent me the picture, I kind of like knew where they were going. So I already had a vision in my mind for what they would look like. And they gave
right.
me kind of like other cartoon characters to kind of base it off of, which helped a lot also. So I would say character development took, I think it took us a few weeks, just going
Mhm.
back and forth. So I would work on that obviously with school too. It took me a little bit longer. So it did
Right.
take me like a good, I think a few weeks before we finalized the characters. So we sent them back and forth a few times, you know, just playing around with like different color palettes and even different like clothes they were wearing as well.
Yes.
As you can see in the picture, Cora actually had a skirt before she had the biker shorts.
Yes.
So we were deciding on that as well. And we decided to go with the biker shorts just to kind of show that Cora isn't like such a girly girl, but she is at the same time. And then
Yeah.
also like skirts are also a little bit more difficult to draw because you have to kind of like play around with the shadowing and like whether the wind is going which way. So like, you know what, maybe we'll cut the skirt and then go with the biker shorts.
Okay.
And then also, as you can see, I think we changed Manny's hat a few times. I remember we were on the call and we were trying to figure out the color of this hat so that it wouldn't clash with the background colors and it would kind of like stand out in a different way. And
Right.
now it's a cool purple color. And yeah, that's kind of how
Oh.
like the characters came to life.
In the last episode, I was talking with Elisa and Kendall, and very passionately they were talking about inclusion and equality. Why is that so important to you, Braedon? Why? Why is that so important, Hanson?
So like they were saying, I feel like in today's society, we all have to be accepting of each other,
Yes.
regardless of our skin tones and our backgrounds, our cultures, where we come from. Everyone is unique in their own ways, and everyone has that like I guess like diamond inside of them, like
Yeah.
diamond in the rough kind of thing. And
Yes.
you have to really discover that in someone. So it's kind of like like I don't like being prejudiced because I know that there is someone inside of that person who is like so amazing. So just
Yes.
like connecting with all these people from like different cultures and different races and ethnicities, it's like, oh my gosh, like everyone's just like these amazing people and I get to experience it every day, even going to school. Like even though Western is known for being like, you know, an all white school, I honestly don't even find that at my campus. I love collaborating with people of all different races, ethnicities, even sexualities and religions. And now I get to experience that every single day, especially being from a Catholic school, going to Catholic school my entire childhood. Coming to university was a big step forward for me because I'm meeting all these new types of people and collaborating with them all the time.
Right. How do you feel now, my love? Thank you for saying that, sweetheart, because that is so important, not only to me, but I know it's really very, very important to Elisa and Kendall. Now your artwork is out there, not only your own platforms, but it's printed now. You're in this book, Cora and Manni. How do you feel, sweetheart?
So as a kid, I never really expected to become an artist. I always knew that I had a passion for art, but I also had passions for other things.
Right.
So I was a very artistic child rather than I guess, more athletic child. I did do sports, but my brother was actually more inclined in that area. And then I was more inclined in the music and arts area. So that's
Right.
what I kind of focused on as a child. And I knew that one day I was going to end up in that field. I ended up figuring out that music wasn't really the way to go, and I started focusing on my art, and that is when I got into my high school. And ever since then, I've been working every single day religiously, I guess, perfecting my talent for visual arts.
Right.
And then I was able to build this platform for myself on social media through showing my artwork. And like I said before, kind of like including diversity and equality in my artwork as well. I started a series creating Disney characters that I feel like Disney should incorporate.
Right.
So I started adding characters with different, you know, sexualities, races, religions, disabilities, and that got a lot of attention. And that's kind of how my platform came to be what it is now. And then as I grew up, you know, the ideas started to fade away and started producing new ideas, such as like, you know, different art challenges, using different art mediums, collaborating with other creators. So that has opened a lot of doors as well. And now you're probably wondering where I am. I'm actually at school, not even for art, I'm in business, which makes zero sense, but that is where I am now. But I'm glad that I got the opportunity to, you know, work on this book with Elisa and Kendall because it still gives me that like drive to focus on my art and, you know, to work on my passion besides school. And even
That's
with my
right.
platform, I'm still able to keep it touchy, you know, like with drawing and painting and stuff like that, which is awesome.
Beautiful.
So again, that's why I'm so grateful for this opportunity because I still get to do what I love, even though I am struggling through business school. So.
Well, listen, honey, You do what you need to do, and these opportunities are going to keep coming. I want to thank you, Braedon O'Brien, to be part of this wonderful story of Cora and Manni. You are a blessing. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
sweetheart.
much, Joy. Thank you
You are
so much. I
welcome.
really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, handsome. We'll be right back, guys, on Unwritten Stories of Significance. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Unwritten Stories of Significance with Alisa and Kendall, the authors of Cora and Manni. Oh my gosh, that was a phenomenal segment with Braedon, eh, guys?
Yes. So great.
Oh my gosh. So my love with, sorry?
So grateful you were able to have him. So amazing.
Oh my God. Well, it helps. Well, you helped here, hon, because it's not only an amazing book, but he did all the illustrations and you recruited him, and then you have a little bit of a history behind, you know, saying those beautiful things about you, which is very dear to my heart, hon. Very, very dear. So my love, back to yourselves, okay? This beautiful, beautiful book. So we're gonna bring up a picture of you doing your first live reading of the book. So how was that like? And there's a picture of you there with your mask on because we were still in COVID times. What was that like? Share this with the viewers, please.
It was amazing. So I live in a building that is very multicultural, and on top of that, there are a ton of children. So I approached the events manager. They're always doing little giveaways and stuff, and I had approached her to see if they wanted to do a giveaway with our book. And she was like, yeah, and then why don't you come in and read the book and we'll give all the kids a copy of the book. So it was just this incredible opportunity that kept growing. And yeah, we got to read the book to some kids, which turned out really, really well. Elisa's teacher skills came in great.
It was so cool watching it come to life in a different way. Like I thought the most amazing moment would be when we had the book in our hands, but when we were able to share it with children, watch their reactions, see how it changed the energy in the room, and then watch them complete the worksheets at the back of the book.
Yes.
And then say like, can I have another coloring page? Or are there any more for us? And it was just like, yeah, of course. And then they came around asking us to sign the books. Yeah. And
wow.
It felt so amazing and rewarding. So and we were so happy.
That is phenomenal. So when they were working the work pages in the back, were there any questions that the children had with you on the book, on the story, on this? Did any questions come up when they were doing their coloring?
Questions. Yeah, I don't remember any questions. We did ask them questions actually through the reading. Like if they knew what a boundary was or how they felt when a boundary was being crossed in their lives. And that was actually pretty funny, just in terms of, there was a couple siblings in there. So they'd be like, well, I know what that's like, and turn to their younger sibling. And just watching them identify what those things meant to them was really cool to see.
Awesome. Now, when you talk about the book, because on the front you got your story and then you've got some worksheets at the back, why was that important for you to have the story and then the worksheets?
Well, just as a teacher, it's always great having additional resources that just help tie everything together. So we thought, why not create a resource that it's not just a storybook, it's an opportunity for parents and teachers to challenge their children further and apply some of the things that they learned in the book and some things that they might not have learned in the book. So, they might be asked a question of draw a picture of yourself setting a boundary. And then the next page is, draw these hands on the clock because we don't learn how to tell time in this book, but it's an opportunity for them to learn something or continue practicing a skill that they already have.
That is right, hon. There's a beautiful picture we're going to bring up of you holding the book. You're finally holding your printed copy. How did that feel? That's your baby. That's your baby, guys. How did that feel? Because, my God, like there's two pictures of you holding the book and there's another one in there with, who was it that's holding up? I think it was, Kendall. Like this. So delighted. Oh my God. Share that. Come on. Share that.
I mean, it was incredible. It actually came to us a lot faster than we were expecting. I remember when we placed the order, we thought it was going to be like a couple weeks, but it came within a few days. And then, just opening it up and like we put together every inch of this book ourselves.
Right.
It was such a huge learning curve for us and such a huge opportunity for growth that it really was this significant moment, and we felt incredibly proud of ourselves in a way that I like in a way that I have never felt before. Like I've created albums, I've put art out, I put music out, and it was just different navigating each step along the way ourselves.
Yeah. And I think that picture like fully represents two people following their dreams and the moment our dreams are coming true. And, you know, hearing Braedon talk about being in business, but still having his passion for art, I think a takeaway from that, if we can expand on that, is just don't lose your drive, don't lose your dream, don't lose your sparkle. We are in our 30s pursuing a dream that we had when we were kids that I don't think either one of us saw coming. And don't ignore those things that are just buried inside of you. We think we have to follow the norm, follow the 9 to 5, do what society and our parents are telling us to do. But when you have a dream and you have a passion, don't ignore it, because it always comes back. And sometimes it comes back at a time when you think it's too late, and it's never too late. And that picture is that moment for us where we realized it's not too late and we can keep doing this.
Yeah, for sure. And if I can even expand on that, like
go for it. This is awesome. Go.
Being someone who has fully followed what it is that I wanted to do, like I chose not to go to post-secondary school. I was like, I'm moving to the city, I'm becoming a musician, like see you later. and how that's changed as well, because it's like I noticed that even though I was doing the thing that I was so in love with, I was still limiting myself, because I have other talents and I have other skills that I wanted to explore. A part of me wanted to explore, and I wasn't even awake to that until we connected and started talking about this random idea. So it really was, for me, it was an opportunity as well to just be more open and allow myself to go with the flow of life, because of course, there was COVID. Music was not happening. But I have way more skills now than I had before.
When you look at it, do you believe that COVID has given you a self-reflection and made you more stronger, awakened strengths that you already held, but now you had to encounter, embraced?
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah.
Okay. Can you share that? Any points in there within the COVID trip? Because this is great, guys.
For me, it was the space. Like, I've been like very focused on my personal growth and self-improvement for a little while before COVID.
Right.
But, because of COVID and all of these things going away, I was at a restaurant job for a while. And so even though I was still pursuing my music, having that restaurant job gone made me realize how much I was still only half-heartedly doing things.
That's right.
And yeah, I was just, like I kind of said before, I wasn't going with the flow of my life. I was trying to control a lot of aspects that were not within my control. And having everything taken away really showed me, like, something that I kind of live by now is like, love what's loving me. And that goes for people, places, things. Like,
that's right.
Like love, okay, I can give love to that. And everything else, like, it's okay, because things come back around.
That's right, hon. Alisa, before I let you guys go, any thoughts to that?
Yeah, I think that the last thing I'd like to say is that we've said this many times to one another, and it's very ironic that your name is Joy, because we keep repeating to ourselves, you have to follow your joy. And when you approached us, we said, her name is Joy.
Yeah.
Her name is Joy. We have found our joy through finding our joy. Yeah. So it's a blessing to have met you, and you have no idea how much of a full circle moment this is for us.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, sweethearts, for coming on Unwritten Stories of Significance. I'm going to pump your mess. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. We're going to pump. Pump it. All right, sweetheart. I'm going to post everything out there, guys, for you, how to find you. Thank you from my heart, guys. You are amazing.
Thank you, Joy.
You're welcome, sweetie. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.